Okay. This one's going to be for the G-Shock Square fans, or G-Shock fans, but primarily the Square fans for sure. So if you're not a Square fan, I mean, you can still watch the video. Clearly, you can just watch the video. It doesn't cost you anything to watch the video. But you're probably not going to vibe with this watch like most of us Square fans. So first off, I have to say a big thanks to Tyler and the entire crew at Exquisite Timepieces. That's who sent this over. They're authorized dealer for G-Shock. Thankfully, one of my favorite brands, as well as over 60 brands they have in their lineup. I've been buying from Exquisite Timepieces for years, even before the channel. So clearly it made sense for me to pair up with them and get these watches on the channel so I can check them out, so you guys can see them, and everybody can make a better, more informed decision, or maybe discover something that you just didn't know that you kind of wanted to buy, like maybe this thing, right? The reason I say it's for kind of the G-Shock Square fanboys is because obviously the way it looks, but these are $2,000. So yeah, it's pushing up there. I have an MRG in the background. These things are like $3,500. This is my personal one, which again, from Exquisite. This kind of lands somewhere in between that. It's below the MRG, but you know, it's above some of the standard Squares for sure. And it is part of the 40th anniversary for G-Shock. It was part of their, so they came out with the G-Shock Square in 1983. So these came out in late 2023, I believe. There was two different ones. There's this one, which this is the first time me handling one of these, which is really wild looking. And no two are going to be the same either, because of the way they put this color in this carbon case is going to be unique to each one. The other one is just a full-on carbon one, which I have videoed that one as well. But when you do a close-up on that full carbon one, you can kind of see it on this one too. You can literally see, because it's like a forged carbon on the case, the bracelet, and then the clasp is actually like a laminated carbon. So it's going to be a little bit different, but you can definitely see the carbon fiber pattern going on there. It's not like a weaved carbon fiber pattern. It's just a raw carbon that they compress down. So let's get into the specifics of the watch. The width of it is 45 millimeter. The effective lug to lug, basically from here to here on the case, is 49 millimeter. Thickness, 14 millimeter. The width here, because you know you're not going to be able to change the strap out, is about 25.5 millimeter. About, I said about, and I measured it exactly. It's 25.5 millimeter, guys. I don't know why I said about. And then it tapers down to 19 millimeter to this part here. This part here is actually a touch thinner or narrower. And then you can see there's the laminate. See how it's laminated? That's pretty cool. Of course, there's other uses of material on here. It is a monocoque case design. These are limited edition, but I don't see anywhere that it's numbered. And I couldn't find any raw data on numbering. I even checked on that, what is it, G Central site. Pretty cool site for G-Shock information. But I was reading their article and I didn't find where they pointed out how many were actually made out of it either. But since it's a 40th anniversary, we're already past that. I doubt they're making more, so probably whatever they produced in 2023, whatever that number was, I suspect they're gone. I did do a quick search of this on the web, and I noticed that most other authorized dealers are sold out. Thankfully, Exquisite Timepieces, powerhouse in the industry, they have more inventory. So odds are, if you're looking for something, you're having trouble finding it, Exquisite's going to have it. So that's why you're going to want to reach out to Tyler. I got his information down below. You can directly get a hold of him, tell him I sent you, and he will take care of you. Inside this is the module 3543, which is different than the MRG. So I'm always curious when I handle some of these, you know, because not that it matters, because the module's not the expensive part. The expensive part is the R&D and the case materials and some proprietary things they do. But it is a different module than the MRG, interesting enough. I don't know why they don't, you know, they change them a little bit here and there. It's just, I don't know what they change on them, but they just change them. This is called the GCWB-5000UN-6. And then DR after that. I just did the -6 and then it came up. So, and here is the specs on the watch. I'm not going to go through the functions really. It is a tough solar, you know, wave scepter, radio controlled. It's Bluetooth. 200 meter has the stopwatch, of course, the world time, the countdown timer, the alarm, all that good stuff. So like if you scroll through the functions, it's pretty intuitive and pretty, if you're used to G-Shock squares, then it pretty much has all the things that you typically use, as well as a, let's see, where's that? I'm not sure where it's at. The light, I think is that one. I don't know. We'll figure it out here in a second. But let's pop it on wrist. The weight of it, I weighed it with all of the links, and it weighs 65 gram, which is incredibly light. You know, when you get a watch like this and it's on bracelet, you think it's going to weigh like, you know, like the combi one, which I don't know where it's at. Like the plastic or the full plastic one with a combi, and those weigh more. They're like in the 80s. So, but that 20 gram difference, you just notice it. It's really weird. It's like, it messes with your head. You go to pick this up and you're thinking it's going to weigh a certain weight, and you pick it up and it's much lighter, which then makes it seem like it's even lighter. Yeah, it's like a mind game. But check out the colorway on this thing. Very cosmic looking. It's very, very cool. Should have titanium pushers. I think it's a mix of some titanium hardware with that carbon case, the monocoque design, of course. So it's super comfortable on wrist. And then, yeah, it has the negative display, which I know some people do not like, but it is plenty visible. But compared to the positive display, I don't know, I'm indifferent. I am leaning more towards the positive displays. I would like to see G-Shock do more of those, but I understand with certain designs, they're just going to be better with the negative display for the, you know, the style or the vibe they're going after. This design was actually in collaboration with Eric Hayes, who is a designer of things. I didn't research him, but he was mentioned in the G Central article. So if you know of Eric Hayes, he took part of this process as well. Probably the infusion of the colors was kind of his jam, I'm assuming. So let's turn off the lights and see if we can get the right button for the backlight here. There we go. So you can see it kind of fades on, fades off, and you can change the time, how long it does that. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next vid.